Hello and welcome to my lecture on combining sentences, subordination and coordination. Make note of these words. Connecting words are called conjunctions. Here are some subordinating conjunctions: as, if, when, since, while, because, after, before, although. There are other subordinating words that you probably see in sentences quite often: in order that and just as. You can also use relative pronouns such as who, which, that to connect ideas within a sentence. Okay, we also have coordinating conjunctions. Perhaps you were taught the mnemonic FANBOYS to remember these coordinating conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Here are more coordinating words that are very familiar to you. Also, besides, consequently, further, furthermore, however, moreover, then, therefore, thus. Both, and, either, or, neither, nor, not only, but also, whether, or. As you can see, we have plenty of connecting words or conjunctions to create complex or more sophisticated sentences, and also to clearly show the relationship between the subject and the action within a sentence. Okay, take a look at this example. The police officers could not explain the cause of the accident. They could not locate a witness. It sounds like you should be able to combine these two ideas in one sentence, doesn't it? Okay, let's take a look at the combination. The police officers could not explain the cause of the accident, nor could they locate a witness. You want to make sure that you are choosing the best conjunction in order to combine ideas. Okay. Let's take a look at another example. We have rented all the offices. We expect the building to show a profit this year. Now, this sounds like there's a relationship between these two sentences, right? If you use the word since, that relationship becomes clear. Since we have rented all the offices, we expect the building to show a profit this year. It sounds like cause and effect, doesn't it? A cause and effect relationship. The cause is because we've rented all of these offices, we expect to show a profit this year, which would be the effect or the result. Could you have used the conjunction because? Because we have rented all the offices, we expect the building to show a profit this year. Remember, you want to choose the best out of the options that you might have. Sometimes coordination within a sentence can get a little faulty. Let's look at this example. The team left the huddle, but the school mascot, a goat, ran onto the field. Think about that for a second with the way that it currently reads. How about this correction? As the team left the huddle, the school mascot, a goat, ran onto the field. The main clause, the main point of the sentence, the school mascot, a goat, ran onto the field, also happens to be the most interesting detail in this sentence, right? So as the team left the huddle is a little less important than the rest of the sentence. Therefore, you want as the team left the huddle to be in the subordinate clause. Subordinate meaning it is less important than the main idea. So we used as to create the subordinate clause and to show the relationship or the time span of the actions within this sentence. Okay, sometimes subordination can get a little faulty. As in this example, just as the tornado siren blared, Martha put out the cat. Here's the correction. The tornado siren blared, just as Martha put out the cat. The most important element in this sentence is the tornado siren blaring, right? Martha putting out the cat is less important. Therefore, you want to subordinate the less important idea, which is Martha put out the cat. And remember those connecting phrases we just took a look at. Just as works very well in this context. So remember, you want to subordinate the less important element, which is Martha put out the cat, and make the tornado siren the main focus of the sentence. Okay, let's take a look at a few more examples to drive this home about coordination and subordination. The school board hired a new English teacher and who will also coach track. That does not sound right, does it? How about this correction? The school board hired a new English teacher who will also coach track. Who is a relative pronoun being used to connect these two elements within the sentence. Joe Taylor won the $1 million lottery and he is a cattle rancher. Now, are both of these ideas equally important? Is the fact that Joe is a cattle rancher just as important as the fact that he won the $1 million lottery? No. So these ideas are coordinated when they should be subordinated. Let's take a look at the correction. Joe Taylor, who is a cattle rancher, won the $1 million lottery. So we actually use the relative pronoun who to make an appositive phrase. And appositive refers back to the subject, Joe Taylor. So an appositive basically gives a little bit more information about who Joe Taylor is. Joe Taylor is a cattle rancher. So you want to connect that idea within one sentence, and using the relative pronoun who is a good way to do that. All right, hopefully this presentation has been helpful to you. If you need more assistance with your writing, go to our website, www.easyedits.net. Thank you so much and happy learning.